Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Mills and I'm back with another video. If you're a new person to my channel, pause the video and hit the subscribe button. But if you're my returning subscriber, thank you again for watching. Here I come with another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how you can apply for a student visa after being accepted into an institution in Brazil. So stay tuned and keep watching. Alright, so this is only for people who have been accepted into a Brazilian university, want to do regular studies or university exchange programs or internships in Brazil, or you want to do language courses, or you want to be an exchange student. So if you fall in any of this category, then you can apply for a student visa. If your studies is 90 days and less than 90 days, or if your studies is up to 90 days, then there are some required countries that will not be needing a visa because they have a visa waiver program that they can stay in Brazil for up to 90 days. But if your length of study is 91 days plus, then you need to apply for a student visa. So I'm just going to go through the entire procedure. I'm going to talk about the requirements. So the first thing you'll be needing is your passport. The expiration date of your passport has to be valid for the entire study period. So it means that if you're studying for 3 years, you should have more than 3 years validity of your passport. If you're studying for 2 years, your passport should have that length of studies. The next thing is the application form. The application form is being done online. You have to print it out and sign it. 3, you need a passport photograph. This passport photograph should be taken on a white background, and this should be 3x4. The next thing is your ticket reservation. You should have a ticket reservation to and fro, maybe from the start of your studies until the end of your studies. These are one of the requirements that will really prove that you have to return. It's a reservation but not an actual ticket. The next one is your certificate of good report. So you'll be needing a police clearance or a criminal record certificate. If you're residing in another country, then you'll be needing a criminal record for that country. If you're not residing in your country of origin at that time of the application, then you will be needing a resident permit to show that you're actually residing in that country in the right status. The next requirement is your birth certificate. The next thing that you need is your original documents from the institution. So the institution that gave you this admission, you need the original documents from them. So they're going to send you an acceptance letter from the institution or the educational institution or the place where you're doing the internship, and all the required documents that they have to send. If you are under 18 years, you're called a minor. So in this case, you need a letter of authorization from your parents or guidance if you want to study in Brazil. Next thing is also the proof of consular fees. So you need to pay the consular fees depending on the country where you're coming from. The next thing is health insurance. You also want to get health insurance for your program of stay. If you have 2 years or 3 years plus, maybe you want to get a health insurance that will cover a year, because most of the times the health insurance are yearly. You can buy the first year, then you can extend it. Most of the travel agencies around the world, they actually sell the insurance, so you can get your insurance from the same place where you book a flight ticket. The next one is proof of financial means. This is very important because if you don't have the right proof of financial means, then your application might be rejected. You need to prove that you're able to take care of yourself while you study. So there are many different ways you can prove this. If you have scholarship that is going to take care of your accommodation, feeding, and all of that, you can present them. If you have sponsors, you're going to prove that they can take care of your studies, and they can do that through letter of employment, bank statements, credit card limits, paychecks, pay slips, and all of that. The next thing is your educational documents. So for example, if you applied for undergraduate degree, you want to show your certificates to show proof that, okay, you qualified for that. If you're doing masters, you also want to show your undergraduate degree like that. So you need to give your educational documents that you use during your application into the institution to get admission. The next thing is a cover letter. Cover letter is very, very important when you're doing application of Brazilian visa. Good to have a cover letter or an introduction letter where you explain everything that's going on. You want to explain about your studies, you want to state the institution, you want to state the length of studies, you want to explain maybe if you have accommodation, which is optional. You want to explain where you're going to be staying. You want to explain your financial situation, if you're the one that will pay for everything or you have a sponsor. You want to explain everything, your bank balance and everything that's happening there. And very, very important, because when the consular sees your cover letter or your introduction with everything that has stated there in the application, it's going to be very easy. Now I want to talk about how you can request for a student visa. After you get all these documents put in place, you want to fill out the online application form. So the application form is one general application form in the general system. So I'm going to put it in the description section. When you fill the application form, it's going to generate a code that is going to be your application code. You can use that to track your application online. You're going to print out the application receipt. There's a place for signature, you sign it. There's a place where you have to put your phone number, and it's also a place where you have to attach the photograph. You attach your photograph, and that is the first stage. During this stage, you need to upload all these documents which are listed. So you have to make sure all of these documents are in place. You label them, put them in one folder, and during the applications, when you fill everything and reach the last part of the application, you need to upload all these documents. You have all the ties in your home country that will prove that you have to return. You can also attach them there. Properties, businesses, marriage certificate if you're married, that will show that, okay, if you're going to study without your family, you're going to return back. You want to add all of them, even the ones that are not stated on the website. You just want to add them there. If when you get that form and you sign it and you put the picture in it, the next thing you want to do is you want to request for an appointment. Again, I'm going to put a link in the description section that will go to the e-consular service. E-consular service for Brazil is their electronic consular service where you submit your documents online, and they're going to check all the documents that you uploaded in your application and make sure the documents are right. If there's any document missing, they're going to send you an email, and you're going to actually upload additional documents that you want. And after that, they're going to send you a link for you to book an appointment. Not all the Brazilian embassies worldwide carry out the e-consular service. So I'm going to put the link in the description section that will show you the place where you can check if your country will need this e-consular service or not. So you're just going to click on that, and you see the country where you are currently, and it's going to show you if they do the e-consular service or not. Also, if you're in a country that doesn't have the Brazilian embassy, it's also going to show you that your country doesn't have the Brazilian embassy, but you can go to this nearest embassy. If they do the e-consular, it's just going to take you to the e-consular part. But if they don't do the e-consular, it's going to tell you, okay, this country doesn't have this service at this time. So at this point, what you want to do is you want to get the email of the embassy or the closest embassy to where you reside, and you send them an email with all your documents, the ones that you uploaded online, and tell them you want to book for an appointment. You're actually in the country where the embassy is there, you want to also call. If your country has the e-consular service, then it's going to take you to the page where you're going to use your email. Make sure you use an email that you use regularly. You're going to sign up with your email and maybe your address and your phone number, and that's what you're going to be using to track your application. All right, You're going to fill it up and then you wait for them to check. It usually takes like 5 working days to 10 working days, and they're going to send you the link for you to book an appointment. If that embassy accepts application by mail, you don't need to book an appointment. Just take all your documents, put them together and post it. If you just have to book only appointment to go physically, then you want to choose the date and the time where you're going to go for your interview. You're going to print out their agenda and attach it to all your other documents. You wait for the point of interview. Now, during the day of your interview, you have to bring all those documents that you uploaded online, everything. If you want to go as a family, you need to do individual applications for all of you. So for example, if you're 3 of you, husband, wife and daughter, and the husband has like a mission, you're going to apply for you, apply for your wife, apply for your daughter. So it's going to be like 3 different applications. They actually don't interview people. They might just ask you 1 or 2 questions based on their application. For example, they can ask you, okay, where will you be staying? What's the name of your institution? How long is your program? How will you fund your stay? And so on. They have made their Brazilian embassy websites this time. It's really confusing. Most of the times you can't even get any information in the websites, because when you click open it, it just takes you to the government website, giving just the email address and stuff like that. It doesn't really have all the requirements stated there like before, but I'm going to put the link of one of the embassies that has all the requirements. If you're being taken into a public university, then you don't need to bother about tuition fee. You just want to bother about accommodation, feeding. And if you're going with family members, you also want to make sure you increase the amount of your financial status. And now on your cover letter, you also want to make sure that after your studies, you're going to return back home. After you get your student visa, you will be given time that you need to get into Brazil. When you get into Brazil with your visa, then you need to go to the federal police station to actually apply for your temporary resident permit, and you still have to show most of the documents that you used to apply for the visa, like your criminal record and your visa. That's it. If you find the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you have any question, you can leave it in the comment section. If you haven't still subscribed until now, please subscribe and you like and you share and click on the notification bell, which is very close to the subscribe button, so that you get notified each time I upload a new video. In that same line, ciao!